Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Garage Studio Modelers. I'm Dave Forrest, and this is my good friend
Harvey Lowe.
In today's episode, we're going to do more work, more progress on the Kotare 109K4, which you see here right in front of you. So let's get rid of this box.
When did this kit come out, Dave?
It came out last year, late last year,
okay.
I believe.
And you picked it up when?
I picked it up just before the end of the year.
So before the end, I'm just here.
At a local hobby shop at Carefree.
Right, so you've only been at this for, what, 2 months?
Yeah, about that. Well, and I didn't start it right away because I was waiting for some aftermarket.
And you're working on other stuff too.
And I'm working on other stuff.
So
and I'm working.
To our watchers, you can, put some models together fairly quickly because I think that's quick.
Well, yeah, thank you.
And you're working.
And I'm working, and but I think that's a testament to the model itself.
Okay.
So I know we talked in the previous episode. We talked about some of the minor challenges.
Yeah.
Like in particular, lining up.
Right.
The tail plane, the horizontal stabilizers, and they're not. To be honest, they're not like 100% perfect. Like there's still ones like a smidge off, and I don't know. So I'm not the only one who's had this issue with this kit.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Well, Maurizio had it.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. So that was good because I was like, I kind of knew that might be an issue here, but I wasn't sure if it was like maybe a molding defect with his kit but it doesn't. But it seems to be fairly consistent. But you can get around it. A little bit of patience and just paying attention to it will get around it. But it's not perfect.
Well, the reason I mentioned that in context is you have to build a model in order to figure out what's wrong with it, right? So similarly with the Fine Mold Zero, I know I'm off topic. The cockpit, it sits too high on where it meets the wing, so you got a wing root step. But you never see that in a kit review.
No, because you don't know.
Because you don't know.
So you everything looks like a lot of kits look great on the sprue.
Yes.
But until you start building them, that's where.
So we build here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's part of the part of the fun. I think.
Sorry about that.
I think it's a good fun. The other thing that I kind of. I wouldn't say slag, but the other minor complaint I had were the latches.
Latches?
Yeah, so the engine latches, and maybe we can get Robert to kind of zoom in on the side here. So this piece, so the fuselage halves come together, and this piece, the entire chin piece is one piece, and it follows a natural panel line, which is great. So that's fantastic engineering, so well done, Kotare. But the engine latches, for being able to take off the panels, are recessed. And I always thought they should be flushed. But if you read the instructions, so I was talking to Maurizio about this, who also built this kit. The instructions talk about this, and they purposely have done this. So what I was calling them out for was actually a purposeful decision that they took based on picture, and you can kind of see here they provide evidence. And they sort of say, hey, some of these things look a little bit recessed, so we're going to recess them as well. So that's a decision that they took.
Okay.
Which may be right, may be wrong. I'd have to go back and do a little bit more research, but that just goes to show you the care and attention and the wealth of information that's in this instruction sheet. So, like, again, well done.
That's unusual to put a reference picture in the instructions.
Yeah, and talk about why, and I skipped over this, typical modeler, right? I don't really read the instructions all the time. But when he pointed that out, I went back and read it, and sure enough, there it is. So, so what was a complaint on my part before, maybe isn't. I still think they're a little bit too recessed, and that may be, and I know there was a purposeful decision, and some of that may be a little bit operator error, but overall, under paint, now that I've started to, so I've painted it in Mr. Surface or 1500 black, and then I take a sanding spot, like a polishing sponge, and I polish it back because it can be a little bit pebbly, even though you finish
especially around the wing root.
Yeah, everywhere, right? And just to get a smooth finish. So this is smooth to the touch.
Yeah.
Right. And then I use for the black basing, I just do it freehand with an airbrush. So we'll do a little bit of that on camera shortly. And then I've also started, so this particular one has some natural metal undersides. So I started painting those, and we'll mask those off, and we'll paint some of the...
What metal did you use?
I use the AK Extreme.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
nice
which
stuff.
are great. Yeah, just
nice
out
stuff.
of the bottle, right? And I used, so there's two types of aluminum. There's a polished aluminum and a matte aluminum. This is the polished aluminum. That's the matte aluminum. I think I like the matte aluminum a little bit more, so I might go back and just kind of knock it back.
You just reminded me. I will bring in your next episode. I did on an 8.5 by 11 styrene sheet. I did all the metallic colors side by side.
Oh, okay.
So you can see. I'll bring it in the next episode.
Like all
different
different manufacturers.
Different manufacturers.
Cool. Okay, that's a great idea.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, by the way, before I lose my thought, when you say the sanding stick, I find the ones that really help with this are the ones that are spongy back.
Yes.
You have to use.
Yeah, it can't be flat.
Don't do flat.
No, because you're gonna create. Yeah. So it's got to be a thick. And I should have brought it with me, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's a thick sanding sponge, and and you can get like even like some of the like if you raid your wife or significant other's beauty product like for nails, like buffing nails, you can go to the drugstore, you can get like a nail buffer, like a spongy one. That works great for this because that's all you want to do is just take off a bit of the grit. You don't want to actually remove anything. So it's perfect for that, and just especially when you're doing metallic finish, you just want to make sure it's nice and smooth, right?
Very nice.
Yeah, so we'll do a bit of painting, and I'll do a little bit of masking, and I'll show how to create the white basing, or the black base. I don't know what you call this, like kind of the
black
white
basing.
the black basing with the white modeling.
Yeah.
Which I like. I don't do different colors.
I tried it, Dave.
I think it gets lost.
It gets lost,
and I'd rather control that post.
Just so the watchers know, I've tried using different colors, bright hues. It gets lost.
Yeah.
It goes back to this. I've tried.
I think you just. Yeah.
But the only time I find that it worked is tank tracks. Try it on tank tracks.
Oh, okay.
So you do a tank track, and then you put oranges and reds, very vibrant, and you blend them. For tracks, it works. For aircraft,
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I'm trying to give that a shot. The other thing too is when the painting is, I'm very choosy what extraneous bits, antennas, etc. that I put on. So I haven't put anything on. There's.
I break them all the time.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. So I didn't even put these things. I'm going to paint the radiators here separate. I didn't put the wing ballast, the flat ballast or rudder ballast, not rudder, flat ballast on. I didn't put. There's an antenna that sticks out. I'll do that towards the end because I already this is a fixed piece here. This little doodad here that fixes the antenna. And this is almost going to break off just because when I set it down like this, I don't always pay attention and I end up.
Me too. I don't put any of that stuff on.
So I'd be surprised if that actually survives. But let's see.
Looks good.
Yeah, but it's you can get this. Not too bad. I mean, this is kind of like. I was talking about this with some friends yesterday. This is kind of the same size almost as a 48 scale Thunderbolt. Right.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, like this aircraft and this scale.
It's nice.
It's nice. Yeah,
nice scale.
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying how this is turning out so far.
Yeah.
So once we get some color on it, we'll see what happens there. But
then you need a 1/32 Hinkle 111.
Yeah, that's too big.
That's too big.
Although that border model does look really, really nice, right? So anyway, so we'll see what happens.
It's a nice size for the 109.
Yeah. But let's. I'm going to get to. Let's do the white base, or kind of. I'll show you how I paint the squig, and it's fairly easy, and it's great airbrush practice. But we'll get to that, and then we'll do some of the underside colors, and then start building that up. So we'll just set up, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our airbrush set up, and we're gonna continue with just doing the white modeling here. So what I like to do is I like to use a flat white paint. In this case, I'm using the flat white. It's me a flat white from their lacquer range. It can be their, it can be the acrylic one. Doesn't matter. But I do like to thin it with Mr. Surfacer, and I like to make it pretty thin. And I'll mix it. Usually, I just mix paint right in the airbrush, but because I just want to make sure of the consistency here.
I always mix it in the cup. Always.
In here?
I know in here.
Oh, so I don't.
By the way, I get these cups because I know where you get yours at the dollar store.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
You guys in the U.S. have what? Dollar store and other types, but you'll find them there.
Yeah. The only thing is though is they don't. I wouldn't leave.
No,
they're
lacquers.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave the lacquers in there for any period of time because they do. Yeah. They do.
I bought some metal ones, Dave, off Amazon. You can get like 10 of them for a few bucks.
Metal ones, really?
Yeah, metal ones. So I use those when I use lacquers. But you're right, you can't leave them in there, but they start to.
Yeah, I left them in there overnight once, and that was a bit of a.
Well, you flunked chemistry in high school, didn't you?
Sure did. I didn't flunk it though, but I wasn't great at it.
No, I wasn't very good at it.
I wasn't great at it. So.
By the way, I noticed that you're gonna airbrush this. You don't use those splatter masks, eh?
Sometimes.
The contrast is very, very stark.
It's you gotta
hard edged.
You gotta hold them away so they're not as hard edged.
Yes.
But I like to use them later.
Oh, you do still?
Yeah.
I use them on armor, but aircraft I prefer airbrush. Oh.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I find they're a bit they're a bit too harsh.
Yeah.
And then some people like to do they'll take white ink and they'll just dab it with a sponge.
Yes.
But I just like the control of the airbrush.
I do too. Sometimes you need that contrast too, right? Because if you don't have a contrast with your white and black, you'll just lose it all when you apply the paint.
So you see how you really want this a little bit thinner. So this is really about 60% thinner, 60 to 70% thinner, and 30 to 40% paint.
Can I show you a trick after you mix it?
So
I'll show you a trick. Can I take that cup? For those of you watching, if you want to know you have the right mixture, dip the paint up on the ledge and let it drop, and you can tell by looking at that how translucent or not it is.
Yeah.
The more translucent, thinner mix.
Yeah.
But sometimes by eye you'll get it, but if you're still unsure, just do that and go, oh, that looks about right.
Yeah, that looks about right actually. That looks about perfect. So it's kind of like the consistency of like low-fat milk, right?
Right.
So then I'll just pour some into the airbrush here.
Oh, it's smelly, isn't it? But we're in the garage.
We're in the garage, so
spray with a mask.
Yeah. So when I spray at my work booth, I have a mask. I have a vapor-rated mask, and I have an extractor booth.
That's why we call this channel Garage Studio.
Yeah.
Because we're in a garage.
Here we're sacrificing.
We're in a garage.
So we're not going to do a lot.
And our producer's putting a mask on while we're not.
Smart. Robert will live longer. So, so it's kind of hard to see.
Especially on white. Eh?
On white.
You know what I use? I use black paper when I do that.
Yeah, I should have brought some. I have something downstairs. So I just build up.
But you don't care about the pattern.
No, I'm just making it random. And if there's there's a little bit of overspray, kind of pull that. That's fine.
Who cares, right?
Yeah,
even if there's splatter.
Yeah. But I find this is a great way of honing your airbrush skills.
And again, folks, I kind of like a high contrast.
Yeah.
So sometimes I go over the white several times in some areas.
Yeah.
Right? So you can build up some a little heavier in white, some less in white.
And what I do is I stay away from the panel line. So I really try and do, just to give it that demarc, as you can see on the other wing here. And you can see how quick this is, right? So now I'm going to do the aileron here. That's the word I was looking for earlier. And I just spray, there's a slight raised ribbing on it. I just spray in between.
Have you noticed, when you look at photos of World War II aircraft, some of them are the better colorized ones, you can actually see the patterns under the paint like this. Yeah. I think it did weather, aircraft did weather like this.
And I'm just going to hit this tab a little bit more. And so I made a bit of a, went overboard there, but that's fine. Doesn't matter.
It does to me because it doesn't look that good, but I'm just kidding.
Well, that's where, like, doing this type of stuff really helps pick up your airbrushing skills.
Yeah.
And I'm just using, again, my trusty Revolution 0.3. I've got my compressor at roughly, even though there isn't a gauge on it, it's probably, in the 12 to 15 psi, which is what I usually spray at. Right? And then I'll just go to the next panel and just start building it up.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. This is
How long did it take you to do all of that before?
It was like an afternoon. Well, yeah, probably like an hour and a bit.
Yeah. No.
Over a few sessions.
Yeah.
Right.
Not long.
It's great. It's a great thing to do. I had the Olympics on in the background. Right. I watch my YouTube videos.
And not to repeat, one of the models I did was a Blenheim, and I tried to do this with different colors. It just kind of lost.
We were talking about that.
It lost.
It doesn't. Yeah,
no,
you lose it.
It loses it.
I haven't had much. Now I might go. So there's a little reinforcing strap here. I'm just going to try and hit that, just to make it stand out a bit. And again, great way to I might do the same on the other wing on that because I see. Move this into, make sure it's in camera.
I can tell some of the, like your hatch on the fuselage, it's more white.
Yeah.
so you can intensify it
Yeah.
in some areas and
So, I
back
like,
off. in
so if
others.
there's like a hatch or something, like
Yeah.
on this side here,
Yeah,
I just
see? It's brighter.
kind of make it brighter,
Yeah.
right? So let's do this other panel here.
Now, while he's doing that, one of the upcoming episodes is my turn to build a model, and it'll be a very large French flying boat, so stay tuned. And I don't think I'm going to do this technique on that, and I'll tell you why, but that will be one of my builds on the channel, so stay tuned for that. So there are times when you want to use this method, and other times less so.
And then just work your way down. Just do inside. And there's no, like if there was riveting on this, I would do inside each panel.
Oh, right.
But there isn't. I'm dying to see the Edward 30 seconds scale when they come up. They're going to be releasing a bunch this year, as we talked about.
Oh, is that right? Eh?
Yeah.
Like a 109?
I don't know if they're doing a 100. I think they're doing a Thunderbolt, and I think they're doing a Focke-Wulf. And I think they're doing a Spitfire. And they're doing them in their new hybrid range.
Right.
Where they're using more 3D print stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of building up and there's other hacks you can use to make this a little bit easier if you don't want to. I love this because it helps just practice my airbrushing skills. But you can get like a stretched piece of not sponge, but like if you have some type of material that you can start to pull apart and you can spray through it, it diffuses the paint, right?
Yeah.
Like you can get those Scotch sponges, those SOS sponges.
Yeah.
Right.
You
can pull those up. Like just make sure all the cleaner is off. You pull that apart, you can spray through and diffuse it as a bit of a shortcut.
Or you maybe the metal scrubbing pads too.
Yeah, exactly. Same type of thing, right? You can pull them apart. I just like doing this because it just helps me sharpen and keep up my airbrushing skill. You can see how quick this is. Like all you're doing is just kind of building it up, just little squiggly lines. And that's why it's important to have the thin paint. And the reason why you want to spray thin is because you're doing this fine work, and it minimizes the overspray.
I do find though with this airbrush technique of black basing, your subsequent coats must also be very thin.
Yeah, you build them up, and
you build them up.
But you don't have to worry. All you're doing at that point is you're just throttling that coat. Like you don't have to worry about creating a modulation or lightening it up with a different color.
Right.
I mean, you can if you want, but you don't need to at that point.
I find if you use splatter masks, you can apply a little thicker paint, but you got to reduce that edge, the hard edge of the splatter mask gives you.
Yeah, and we'll do when we do the weathering and do some more distressing. I might bring out the splatter mask.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Although I don't know, like I used it, like I'm working on this Pacific early model for Birdcage Corsair, and I used the splatter mask on that, not as part of the black basing, but as kind of working in different color blues.
Yes.
Right, and then going over, and so you can. It just gives you a different level of control.
Yep. How modeling has changed, since we were kids.
Oh yeah. I mean, we keep saying this. It's a golden age of modeling.
It is.
I do kind of believe that.
Can you imagine when I was a kid, I built a lot of Airfix kits. Can you imagine if Airfix at that time had put reference photos in their instructions to us 12-year-old kids? I think we would look at it and go, what?
Well, they wouldn't have been like $2 kits either, I'm sure. Right? So you can see how quickly
you're done, right?
It's done.
It's done.
Right, and you can see it.
5-7 minutes?
Yeah, not long at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Very good.
So now what we're going to do is we're just going to switch gears, and then we're going to start tackling the underside. And I'll start masking off some of these panels and paint. So, and again, we'll go back to the instructions, but we just need to do a bit of a setup here, so we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've finished kind of the black basing, we're going to do some painting and some masking on the underside. So again, this is the version I'm doing, and you can see, and let's focus on this piece here, you can see that the underside has a combination of different colored RLM 76s. So you've got the traditional blue one, and then you've got kind of the sky version of it that's on the fuselage. But we're going to focus on just kind of doing a quick panel knowing just to show how to spray over and just build up lightly so that you can see some of the modeling underneath. So we'll do that shortly. So I'm just going to put this away. I've got some masking tape, so we're going to flip the model over. But I want to be careful about this nib, so I'm going to use this.
That nib is part of the
Yeah, it's part of the fuselage.
fuselage. It's like it's not glued on, right?
Yeah, so I'm just going to use this to keep it from going down. So I've got my trusty Tamiya tape. I've got what size is the 3 mil? 5 mil?
You can get...
I don't know what these are. Anyway.
You can get 3D print containers for these, Dave?
Yes, 6 mil and 10 mil.
So I have one where it has all the sizes in one little thing. You can look online, 3D print.
I got one from Display, but I thought you could hold more in there, but it's just for one.
Oh no, mine holds like 5.
Oh, that's good. That's a
6.
good idea. So what I do is I like to detack
Yes.
the tape just a little bit, and by detacking it, I just put it on my hand, and the oils from my skin will do that. And I'm gonna spray. Get this out. I'm gonna be careful with this guy because I know I'm gonna bust it off, and then I'm pooched. So I'm gonna spray this panel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask off.
I find when you're masking is a lot of work for one little result.
Yeah.
Right? But it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's a canopy or something. And it's better to mask a wider area so you don't get overspray.
Yeah.
Right? So don't be afraid to...
Totally agreed.
Yeah, just use the tape.
So I'm going to have to put this down. Here.
Oh, that's better, right in the hole there.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. So, sorry, let me get this more on camera so that the upper camera gets it. So, again, it's just a matter of lining up like so, and just kind of working it, making sure that it's all the way in to here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. That's good enough. And then swap out here. And then do the other side.
The wheel wells were also natural metal?
On this one, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And here, we're going to do the same thing. No, I'm not going to worry about the flaps and the ailerons here. We're just going to, it's too much. We're just going to focus on this a little bit here. Now, the nice thing about the AK Extreme paints is I know when they first came out, there was a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I remember.
Where, if you put tape on them, they would peel.
Yes.
They wouldn't adhere.
I remember that.
But they fixed that. They fixed it. Actually, good on AK. They fixed that fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And
I love them.
I think they're they're the best.
You don't have to thin them.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Alclad that I've got to think about getting rid of.
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore.
I still have the original Alclad, some of the original paints.
Yeah.
And they have a silver powder that you used to buff on.
Oh, the S&J's, the spray and buff.
Hugely probably carcinogenic if you breathe that stuff, but I still have a bottle of it. Shows you how long I've been around modeling.
Yeah, I do too. I never used it, thankfully.
I still have Aeromaster paints.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Those are. I used to have a bunch of Aeromaster because they were the most accurate colors.
They were for the time. Yes, I still even have some of their thinner. So.
And that used to be a focus of mine, right?
Yeah. Less so now, eh?
No, because I used to be so focused on colors. So
FS colors, yeah.
And
that's all gone down the tubes.
Yeah, because weathering and who knows what the actual color was, and quality control between different paint batches and stuff.
Even with modern vehicles.
So I've got two options here. So I find the Gunzy range of colors are the best. So I've got the aqueous range, and I've got the pure lacquer range. They're both you know, if I absolutely have to pick one over the other, I'll probably pick the lacquer. But these are really good, and they all thin with the leveling thinner.
Right.
So I'm going to use the lacquer range.
Would you ever use the AKS with?
Sure. Oh, yeah, totally. So what I'm going to do first, so I'm going to mix this, unlike when I was doing the white basing or the black basing, I'm going to mix this right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of leveling thinner in here.
We're all different because I seldom mix in the cup. But then,
well, for a little up, because I'm just doing a little panel here.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I'll just mix this with my Tamiya cocaine sniffing stick.
And again, this is the leveling thinner. Now, is this the one with the retarder? No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It
totally,
is.
yeah.
It is. Yes.
I only spray with retarder.
Okay. We won't go there.
Just because you want that smooth finish.
Yeah.
Right. So again, you know, if the white mix was, let's say 40 to 30% or 30 to 40% paint, this is more towards the 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think, and again, I just run it up the side of the airbrush, or it's the side of the cup. Maybe you can catch from the upper camera here. So that looks pretty good. So we'll try that out. Let's put that here.
And always make sure that your airbrush is clean after every session.
Well, yes, I did a major cleaning of my airbrush. I was shocked at how dirty it was.
I take it apart every time.
I don't take it apart. I'll pull the needle out but I don't. I
take it apart like a rifle. I clean it.
It was. Oh my god!
Because I do a lot of like little squiggles, and I need a clean airbrush, so I take it apart.
So I just start spraying off just to see.
Oh, not bad.
It looks pretty good. And I just love this 0.3 revolution. Look at the fine squiggles you can get with it.
Now, did you mention what color is that?
That's RLM 76.
76.
So this is the Mr. Color 117.
Right.
And in their aqueous range, that's H 417.
So they're both good colors.
They're both, they're spot on.
Like okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, going back to this panel here is blue, is the RLM. So I'm going to pick this up. Actually, I'm going to put a glove on. For the simple reason is I don't want to get fingerprints. Usually when you see somebody coming at you with a glove on like this, it's trouble.
It's not good, yeah. No,
it's not good.
Especially as you age.
But we're good.
By the way, as you're doing that, always check to make sure that glove is clean and that you haven't been handling, because I've done it. Oh, there's paint and there's a thumbprint on your model.
So I'm just going to build up the color very gradually because I want that modeling to show through. All right. So the nice thing about doing the modeling is that when now you're putting the actual color on, this is all you're just building it up in very light layers. You can just see how I'm just building it up very lightly. I want that modeling to continue to show through.
It's very easy to cover it all.
Yes.
I find that's one of my biggest Achilles heel is that, oh my god, I've just covered everything.
Yeah. And I'm just going to do the quick passes.
Now, you do have an option of using a larger, bigger, broader needle tip, I find.
Yeah, you could.
Right? Because then you're just misting over the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
But I like the control
you do,
of the revolution, yeah. So you can see it's still a little bit too much contrast.
Yes, a bit, yeah.
But you're just building it up very gradually. And again, spraying, it's a 0.3 needle at 12 to 15 psi. That's my go-to. You're no more than 40% paint. You're probably maybe a little bit less. Not as thin as the undercoating. But you could make it that thin. You just build it up, doesn't matter. As long as you're in that range. As long as you're in that snack bracket, I think you're fine. And then you just look at it to your eye, right? Now the challenge is you're always better to stop and pause than go too far, because once you've gone too far,
You just
then
you've covered everything.
you've covered everything, and
Yes,
then
yes.
I mean, there's options to fix it, but
Yes, but then
you know,
it's work. I think it's
more-
almost there, Dave.
Yeah,
Pretty well.
I'm just gonna, and again, just very light coats, right? Very light. I'm just gonna go and build up in here, because these the ailerons and the aileron and the flap here are the same RLM 76. Right. So I think it looks good.
Yep. I think you should stop.
Yeah, I think
It's
you're
looking,
right.
It's looking good.
You're right. So let's put this down. Again, be very careful of that little antenna mast on the top of the tail plane, or not tail plane, the rudder, or the, what do you call the thing in the back of the aircraft? This
Rudder.
is that the rudder?
Mm.
The rudder. Well, this is the rudder. Well, what do you call this piece in front of it?
Oh,
That's not the rudder. It's something else.
vertical stabilizer.
Vertical stabilizer. Thank you, Art. Good thing you're here. So that's it. So I'm just gonna. So I have. I'm just gonna pour it back into my, because because it's the same. I've mixed it. It's the same color.
By the way,
And because these paints are getting increasingly more difficult to find, I do
well,
like
there
to
you
go
go.
to it.
That was my next point. So you know the Acquiesce one there.
Yes.
Could you pass me that paint, Dave? So when you guys see this, I don't know if you see the camera pointing down or across. Gunzi made two types of these paints. In the 90s, they made the same Acquiesce, but with a rainbow label on it, different colors.
Yes.
If you have them, keep them. I find that the older ones, you can get a finer spray pattern when you thin them with isopropyl 70% with some distilled water, a bit kind of half and half. They're my go-to for very sharp lines. These will still work, but the older ones, if you can find them with the rainbow patterns, those are the ones you want to get and keep. Make sure they're, of course, still good, but they use the same number, but the label's different. But those paints were discontinued years ago, so if you have them, keep them.
So you're probably wondering, why am I still painting? Because I still have a little bit in the cup, and
Oh yeah, you might as well.
I
do
might as well
something.
just do some. So even though I haven't masked
Yeah.
this side off,
You've got
well, maybe I
control.
could mask one. I just masked that off while we're here. Right.
I even looked for these older Gunzis in Japan. I couldn't find them. They are getting harder to get, eh?
They are, yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
And given that we're in Canada, we still have a ban on Tamiya spray cans,
Yeah, which is silly.
which is silly.
Which is just dumb.
And I think they're going after some other types of paints as well.
Well, I guess they found something in the paint they didn't like,
Yeah.
right? So,
We shouldn't say it's on the channel to make work for the government. Like, I mean, there is no proven cases that Tamiya paints killed anybody. I looked on the web, so.
no, that's true.
Just be cautious and wear a mask.
Yeah, but
That's
you are
all.
wearing a mask, right?
Yeah,
like
you're wearing a mask.
to.
Yeah.
You have to wear a mask, like a good one, like a vaporated.
Yeah.
And you can get them on Amazon.
I
got
have,
my mask on
yeah,
Amazon.
I have several. I got 2 or 3.
You just got to look for the vaporated ones, because that's what you need.
Yeah, I've got a smaller one from woodworking company. Very small.
There we go. So now, I'll just because I just don't want to waste, because these paints are hard to find, I am going to get every last little bit I can out of this. And again, just building up the color. You see how easy it is, right? Because all your work, in terms of determining that, getting that variation, that modeling, if you will, is done as part of the biplacing process. And you always have, and the nice thing about this, you always have the option to go over it with, you know, shaders or a light, like a smoke or whatever, which we'll do on this.
Layering.
Yeah, and just layer the colors up, right? But
that's the key to successful weathering. Layering.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So mission accomplished on using the last bits of the paint. Yeah, so that concludes it for this episode. The next time you see this, there'll be more. I'll finish the base camo, and then we'll do some detailing bits on weathering. We'll get out the modeling stencil, and we'll show how I use that, and maybe doing some post shading, post weathering. But we'll get most of this on, and then after that, we'll also look at doing some stencils, because we have this amazing stenciling set from One Man Army.
Yeah, right.
And I actually did a bit of a proof of concept, and we'll just wrap on this quick issue, quick topic rather. So I've got the propeller done. I still have to put a flat coat on it and weather it and put a wash. But on the back, and I don't know if you can get in close enough, the propeller stenciling is on the back of the propeller on Luftwaffe aircraft, and a little stencil for this red lettering. And a couple of lessons learned that I found. First of all, your paint has to be super thin, right? Because the stencils are so small.
Yeah.
That if you either flood them or the paint's too thick, everything's just going to lift. It's just going to form on the stencil. The second thing is as soon as you spray, pull the stencil off. Don't let it dry.
Don't let it dry out.
Don't
That's
let it dry with the stencil
I've
on.
never used them, not yet.
Right. So,
okay.
anyways, those are just some initial learnings that I had just from applying these. So they're not perfect, but it was a good learning experience. So the lessons learned from here will apply to other stencils and that. So we'll do that in another episode as well. But that concludes it. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see everybody in the next episode.